Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Julie and this is Vintage Craft and Chat. This is our Thursday live stream where we go live and do all kinds of fun junk journal crafts, paper crafting, may do some assemblage and holiday decor as we get closer to the holidays, but welcome. Especially if you're new here or returning. I'm glad you're here to craft with me today. So today we are making a what I call a tri-fold junk journal style folio. And I designed it off of some Jot file folders that I picked up in a haul not too long ago. Of course, they don't have to be the Dollar Tree brand or the Jot brand. You can use whatever you have available. You could even use cardstock, craft paper, that kind of thing. It's I don't want to say forgiving, but you use what you have on hand. I'm really big on using what you have. The one benefit of using something that's cream colored or these file folders is that when you're working with vintage papers, and especially if you end up using the printable, because of the color of the file folders, it really does sort of blend in with the book pages and that kind of thing, and you can get a really good aged kind of grungy look with inks. So that's why I kind of liked using that color. Also craft paper, kind of that brown, let's see if I have some here available, would work really great too. I think it blends in well with vintage papers. You could use this color too. Let's see who we have. We have Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Oh, you couldn't find it? Yeah, and then I posted it in our Instagram group. I'm being away for 3 weeks. I'm like, okay, I have to be better about notifying everybody and putting links in. And so if you're not following me on Instagram, I typically will post either to my story or something ahead of time, notifying you when we're on Thursdays. And yeah, that's one of my goals. I haven't been on for 3 weeks. I went on vacation with my husband and my son. We were camping up in I live in Southern California. We were up in the Sierra Mountains and Yosemite, and yeah, we had a really good time. Lake Tahoe and Mammoth, and it was so nice to be up in the mountains. So and then I was scheduled to be back last week, but we had tickets to the Dodger game the night before, and this project was kind of quite more involved than things that I typically do on Vintage Craft and Chat, and I didn't have enough time to prep it because I had to get all my supplies ready for today. So I took an extra week off, but I hope you guys have all been good. Hi, Terry. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Glad to see everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and just kind of basically go over the supplies really quick. But I do always include a supply list down in the description. If something is available on Amazon, I will put those links in there as well. Those are affiliate links, but you don't pay extra if you purchase any of the supplies through those links. I get a small commission, and it just helps me to continue to buy supplies for our Thursdays together. So, okay, I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to turn this around, and then we'll just kind of go over some of the supplies. Let me see. I feel a little bit, as it being away for 3 weeks, I feel like, okay, I've forgotten how to do all this. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. I might kind of come maybe a little bit further. And I have my notes over here. Let me get my phone kind of propped up. Here, where am I going to put my phone? I'll put I'll put you guys over here. I find it easier to watch the chat from my phone sometimes versus my laptop here. And sorry if it's a little dark today. It's so hot here. I have all the blinds closed and all the shades pulled down because it is very hot here in Southern California. I don't know about the rest of you. Is it hot? Is it hot where everybody is? Okay, so the one thing I did want to say too, so here's the folio, and I found this really great printable on Pinterest. I've been really into finding like antique illustrations and images, and the great thing about them, if you're using them in your work, that they are royalty, free. They're out available. You can use them in your work. If you're somebody that sells your pieces, it's fine to do so. And I think they're just gorgeous. Printables are great too. There's so many great artists that sell ready-made printables on Etsy and Ko-Fi and a lot of different sites, which are really fabulous. But the thing I love about finding these antique images is you can take pieces and parts of them and mix them with vintage papers and kind of create your own collages and your own printables. That's what I like. Oh, that's pretty good, Kathy. Yeah, 85 and no humidity. That's good. I would say we're probably going to get into the 90s today. We're not normally humid. Of course, it is drier here, but yeah, it's been hot. In fact, I didn't even walk this morning. I usually walk with my neighbor friend, Kiki, and we were like, it's too hot today. So yesterday we went later in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to pass out. And for some reason, we don't have a lot of shade on the streets around us. The trees, I think some of the trees got so huge, a lot of the streets they took out there, which makes me sad. The really old trees that we had on some of the streets, so it's hard to find a lot of shade. We were like, okay, let's make it a short one today. So this particular printable, this feather printable, I found on Pinterest, and my Pinterest page is in the link tree that's down in the description. And I think the section on my Pinterest page is like free printables for vintage craft and chat, or Thursday vintage craft and chat. I don't have a lot of folders in there, but you can find it and then find your way to the link. The other thing that I've also done is a lot of these images, if it's a certain, what do I want to say, artist or illustrator, these are from the 1800s. A lot of times too, you can just, once you find the name, you can just go on to the internet and just Google it, and then you'll find other sites that offer basically the same printable. So let me show you what the whole thing looks like. And I kind of ripped it down and took pieces and parts of it. So this is what the actual book page looks like. And I'm not going to try to pronounce it. It was from a French artist and a French illustrator. And I believe these are African feathers. And they're so gorgeous. Aren't those colors just beautiful? And I played, everybody's printer is a little bit different. I played around with it a little bit. In fact, I had my daughter Taylor help me. When I originally printed it, I don't have it here, it was much greener, but again, all printers are the same. So I warmed it up a little bit just so that the color was a little closer to the file folders that we're working with today. But of course, whatever kind of paper, and it actually was lovely kind of with the green tinge anyway, and I'll end up using it for something. So these are just regular file folders we're using. Here's the printable. You can find that down below. And so let's just kind of open the folio and show you what it is. Now, I added ephemera. I added some extras inside just to decorate it. And in fact, I'll kind of take them out as we're going through. This is just a piece of map. I thought that was kind of cute. So the outside front cover, we're using the feather. The inside, we're using the other half of the feather printable. So we end up using most of it. The bottom just is left over. I covered this front here with just some book page. You can use any original book pages that you have. I'm happen to be using some French book pages. The back, I used vintage book pages as well. And I just did a really simple collage here with a vintage stamp. I'm using some Tim Holtz die cuts that I have because I need to use them. Just a strip here of a photocopy from what do I want to say, like a vintage check that I had in my stash. And the other kind of jumping off point were these stamps that I had hauled and bought on Temu a while back. If some of you watched that haul, they're so beautiful. And I've had them for a while and really wanted to use them. So that was the other jumping off point. And then I found the printable. I went searching on Pinterest and tried to find, I just like typed in antique feather printable. And I thought these looked really cute and sweet with that, with those antique images. And I know some of you don't like Temu or don't love shopping there. I did find these on Amazon as well. So I put the link down below. Oh, you're the same, Terry. You're only 85. Nice. Oh, maybe we must have gotten everybody's heat this direction. So here's the back. And then the inside of the folio, I did a simple side tuck over here, and I'll kind of take out the ephemera. I did a simple side tuck here. We'll be making that, and I just put some ledger page on and a photocopy of some antique, again, ephemera that I have with just a super easy collage here. And then we're going to make three pockets here in the middle. And what's great about these folios, if you are making, this can just be a standalone thing. You can use it to hold fussy cuts or ephemera, really anything, but it's nice and thin. So if you're working on a larger journal, this would be great even to tuck into a larger junk journal because it's not, let's see, what is the dimension of it? And again, you can make it any width and height that you like. Mine ended up being pretty close to 7 3/4 and 4 inches wide. So it's still a really good size. And depending on what you put in it, it's not overly thick. So that's what's nice about it too. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And basically what I did was I took a whole folder and I cut it down. In fact, you can kind of see here, this is how it was originally constructed. You can see kind of that folded area down below. And so I actually just went in and took off the tab top and took a little bit off the edges just so I could get an actual rectangle. And if you want to know the dimensions of this, it ended up being 11 3/4 long by 7, little bit over 7.5. So again, I tend to just like to eyeball things, just fold and eyeball. But if you're into the measurements. And so what we're going to do is we are going to score this. Let me look at my notes. So you're going to get your triangle. Now, if you're not a measurer and not a scorer, what I would suggest is that you can just come in here and fold it, which is what I originally did. I just kind of went in and said, okay, that's pleasing. I want a little bit showing here on this side. I don't want my cover quite going all the way to the right. So again, this is a very forgiving thing that you can just kind of eyeball. Thank you, Terry. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a scorer so that we get a little bit of thickness in the sides of our folio. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. So we are going to score at 4 inches. Let's see here. So our first score is going to be at 4 inches. And I know Terry and Kathy are both in our Instagram group, and Amy, another of our crafty friends here, she had a question about a scoreboard, and I had responded to her this morning that she was asking about, you know, what kind of scoreboard she was looking to purchase one. And the one comment I said is that I had picked up this small one at Hobby Lobby a while back, and it's great, no complaints, it works well, except my suggestion was I wish I had bought a larger one, because this one is, you know, I was using it for this particular project, and it's not quite large enough, so I have to just kind of eyeball it and do a little workaround. In fact, let me try to kind of line up. Doesn't work perfect, but I can kind of, if I can kind of works well enough. Okay, so we're going to do 4, and then we're going to do 3 3¾ is our other score line. I just end up being a little bit shy here. So I have to turn it around and do that. Okay, so that's pretty good. So you can see the score lines there. And then we're going to turn it over, and we are going to do 3¼ . See if I can line this up on a line here. Not too bad. And 3½. And that'll get us sort of our 3¼ and 3½. I think I'm off. No, I am. Here we go. 3½. There's my 3½ line. It's hard for me to see. My overhead dining room light is reflecting. So we're pretty close there. All right, so there we have our score line. Sometimes I'll go back in and score the opposite way, but let me see. We might be okay. I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to fold in on those score lines. What do we call this? Like a gusset or a spine? Maybe we would call this a spine. So there we go. We have our little, it's kind of a quarter inch spine there. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Yeah, those are things I want to invest in. I need a larger scoreboard, and I need a larger paper trimmer because mine is super small. And I think I have seen some paper trimmers that also have scoreboards built into them. So that might be something I want to look at. I think what I'm going to do, so I'm looking here at the edge, I think I'm going to take off a little bit here, just a little bit off of this inside cover because it's touching a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little smidgen off, not a specific measurement, but a little smidgen. Probably not super squared off here, but I think that'll help a little bit, just so it's not rubbing. Yeah, much better. Okay. And let me get the scoreboard out of the way. We don't need this anymore. Hi, Dawn. Is it going in and out a little bit? It is. I have a plug-in camera, so I don't use my phone. I know my iPhone has that feature. I'll pull it away a little bit and see if that helps. Sometimes if I'm a little farther away, it does it. But that's sort of a bad aspect of these plug-in cameras. It's plugged into my laptop, and it's a pretty simplistic camera, but it does do that zoom in and out. So hopefully, let's see if that helps a little bit. Probably if I clear off a little bit of this stuff as well. Okay, so we have our folio. Let's see. I'm going to round the corners. Where's my rounder here? And we're just going to round these outside corners. And this is just the 3-way. I am using the 10 millimeter size. I have little notes to keep myself on track here. And then we're going to come in and we're going to ink this with Vintage Photo. Yeah, I definitely want to look into a different camera setup. I'm not really happy with it. This is actually the second plugin I've had. Probably would be better if I could do it with my phone. The one problem is I like to look up at my laptop and kind of see what I'm doing. It's in front of me. And I'm not very tech savvy. I don't know how I would hook my phone into my laptop to kind of be able to see. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and ink these little spines that we have. And once we layer the papers on, we can, you know, we can ink as well, but this is just to kind of get us started. And sorry if you guys hear the air conditioning too. I have the air going, which usually I don't when I'm on. Our house was built in the 50s and didn't come with air conditioning. We added it on and it's so noisy. It's like air conditioning trying to go through ducts that were originally just for heating and not air. So it's quite loud if you guys are hearing that. I'm kind of doing a little bit of a messy job, but oh, gusset, yeah. Gusset is a good word. And the nice thing about this too is you can make the gusset as large as you like. You could even make, you could even take this design and add signatures in it and have this be the, you know, basically the whole base of your journal. So it's very, very versatile. Okay, so I've gone in and I've inked up the edges. And now we're going to start covering our flaps. So let's see, let's do this outside. Let's work on the outside flap first. And I think what I'm going to do, I use my ruler a lot for this project, basically ripping down with my ruler kind of makes it quick and easy. You could use scissors or a paper cutter, of course, but I find the ruler works nice. Also, I kind of like that ripped edge. I think that sort of leads to the look of the project. And I'm going to come at the top of this printable. I'm going to rip down so that we can keep that wording here, because I like that little detail. Go. And let's see what fits here. Where's my pencil? And I'm just going to put a little pencil line. I think I'll turn that over here as well. Go this way. I'm all backwards, put a little bit of mark. And I'm not going all the way to the end. I don't mean all the way to, I didn't mean to say all the way to the end, meaning I'm leaving a little bit of extra room here. Kind of a frame of the, what am I trying to say? The file folder. So I'm not going right to the edge with the printable. I'm leaving a little bit of extra. Mostly because it's a little bit more forgiving to do that. And it gives it kind of a cool look. Okay. There we go. Let's see, we're pretty good there. And then I'm going to round the corners just so they match our rounded corners. It's a little bit harder to cut this thin paper, and I just printed this on just cheapy copy paper. You could also do it on cardstock. That would work well. That would work as well. And we're going to ink that up. Adding more dimension and more layers. All right, let me get my glue book out. And I'm going to grab one of my larger glue sticks just because it covers more surface area here. Kind of burnish that down. Okay. All right. And then the backs I just covered with some book pages. Let me pull it out of my pile. Just from a vintage book that had a French book. In fact, this one is, I don't know. I think it's kind of like a teaching French kind of book. I don't know what it is. Yeah, because it has like questions and discussions. So that's what I'm using. And I love, sometimes when you're ripping the pages out of the book, I love that kind of softer edge that it gives. So I'm actually going to keep that. I'm going to rip down the top a little bit just so I can get closer to this wording here, because I don't mind that with the page number. But I love that edge there. So we're going to mark that. And ripping down this way is so easy. It's very forgiving. And we'll go ahead and ink that up. Oh, actually, I need to take, let me take a little bit off the bottom. Forgot about that. And I find it's easier rather than ripping this way. If I have a little piece like this, a lot of times I don't get a clean rip. So usually I will put my ruler and pull the longer end, if that sort of makes sense. We'll ink that, finish inking that up. See how cool that is when it has that sort of kind of soft rip that comes out of where the signature is sewn into the book. And that usually happens on books that have that. Does this have a sewn in signature? Let me look at, I don't know where the book is. I'm not sure if it's sewn in, but not all my books do that, but it might be those that have sewn in signatures. Put that down. Hopefully it's not doing the in and out as much. You guys let me know if that helped. Okay, and then let's do our last one here. Let's take off a little bit of that top. We're just sort of repeating. If the pieces are big enough, I usually keep those because those are great to stamp on. Let's see here. Do I want that kind of rough edge this way? I'll try to do it that way. I don't know that I'm going to be able to. This paper is so thin. I'm not sure if I will be able to round that well, but I will attempt it. I'll put like another piece of paper behind it and see if that works because I love that edge. Go, and then let's get our height here. Looks a little bit wonky. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put something else behind here. Do I have a scrap? I cleaned out my trash bin. I'll use this. I'm going to see if that helps us thicken the paper up and see if that helps with the rounder a little bit. I don't know. Not too bad. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. Okay, that worked well. That worked well. Okay, we'll ink that up. Heat and repeat. And I'll give you a little close-up. Hope everybody's having a good day. What are you all up to today? You guys crafting? What projects are you working on? I always love knowing that what everybody's working on. I know we're supposed to, I think I guess we don't, do we have a new project this week in the Instagram group? I know the last one was fall collage, and I'm behind on that. Might get some time to work on that later today. I almost got caught up. I was so behind everybody. And I took so many supplies on our camping trip. I just thought, oh yeah, I'm going to have all this time to craft and play with some, new things and try some new techniques out. And I think I only, maybe 2 days, I had time to do that. Our son, who is 19 now, he was so crazy about hiking. I mean, he's liked hiking for a long time, but which was fun. It got my husband and I got us out and moving and hiking, and we were trying desperately to keep up with him. I think the most we hiked in one day was Yosemite, and we did 8 miles, and he did like 20 something because we were like, no, we're going to hang out for a while. And he got on the like the bus that they have that takes you around to different places, and he did another additional hike, but that was like the most we did. I think it was over 8 miles in one day. So yeah, we were having fun. We had great day trips, and so it didn't leave a lot of time for crafting, but no complaints for me. I had a great time. Okay, so we've done our outside, and I'll kind of do a close-up. So we have the feather printable that's on that front, and you can see it really gives it a nice, you can kind of see those edges there of the paper. It just gives it kind of a cool vintagey look. So we've covered the outside. Now let's work on the inside. And let me see what I have left here. I guess on this one, I put the pink on the outside. So we're doing the opposite. We're going to end up with the pink on the inside, but that's okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know what I don't think we have something new, huh, Terry, for this week. Yeah, and I've been playing a lot with some other things, and I try to as much as I can to kind of keep up. Also because I feel like it makes me sometimes try something new, right? Sometimes we get in a little rut. So it kind of pushes me to try something different. I think I'm going to do this. Hopefully I'm okay. I think that was thick enough. And actually there was a really cute there's a really on the, what is it? Graphics Fairy. If anybody signed up for that free email that they send out once a week, they've had some really cute fall images. There's a really cute one, I think from 2 weeks ago, of a squirrel. So I was like, oh, I think I'm going to try to use that when I get to doing the collage. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's try that little trick with the corner, which I had some scrap paper here instead of doing it with this vintage paper, but that's okay. And the one thing that was that I really wanted to play with, I haven't played with paints much. So that was the one really fun thing that I sort of did one afternoon is I took like a vintage book with me and all kinds of paints, and I just had fun and laid paint down and did sort of like made background paper. And I've been using it a lot. I made some, I kind of played with ATCs a little bit and Twinchies when I was gone, and it was great for that. I used it on a project I had posted on Instagram yesterday. It's come in handy, and I definitely want to do more of that. And I found it works really well, kind of combining that with magazine images too, those sort of painted pages. So that's kind of a new, yeah, I guess a new medium and kind of a new look to have fun and play with. And I think it works well if you do sort of more modern art journaling. It's a great look, and I've really been enjoying putting it with more vintage looking projects. Like it would be great to use for this too, is to take a piece of like, painted vintage book page and use that to cover pockets. Would be really cute for this project too. Okay, so there's our inside. Let's see, let's go to our outside. So now we're going to move on and we're going to create our little side tuck here. And I'll give you a little bit of a close-up of that. So we're going to, I used a piece of the file folder just to I always like to back my pockets, my tags, my side tucks. I like to back them with something sturdy, cardstock, craft paper, file folder, that kind of thing, because as you're pulling things and tucking things in and out, you want it to really withstand kind of the test of time in the use. And I had a piece of leftover from my original. So that's what we're going to use to cut this down. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I don't need to be super specific on it. And I'm going to go a little bit closer to the edge on the side tuck than I did with the papers. But again, I'm just not being super specific. I'm just going to mark it with my pencil. So there's my bottom. I think what I'll do is let me cut this so it's not as tall, and then we'll get our width. It's a little bit easier. I'm kind of constrained by my paper cutter. I have to kind of work in what works well with the paper cutter. So let's see. Okay, we're pretty good there. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then we can measure and kind of see. I think that's probably pretty good. What does that end up being? Let's see. Yeah, we'll go there just so I get something that's a little bit more. And that ends up being about 1 and 5 1 5/8 is about what that ends up being. I think that's good. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, where's my rounder? Oh, I keep putting it over here. Let's see. Oh, they have. I watched their have they been doing the background separately or together? I loved I'm so behind on Debbie's videos. I watched the part 2 where they crafted together, which was so fun. And I need to watch part 1 where they were doing like the paper dolls. So good. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to add a little, kind of tab here. I'm going to cut out a little like partial circle. So I think that gives it a little bit of extra design, and it's letting us know too that there's a tuck spot. Let me see. The problem is though trying to get it sort of in the middle. Bear with me a second. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing what is center. It's a little, it's pretty good. Might not be quite, but it's close enough. Okay, there we go with that. And in the kind of example I made, I covered it with this ledger paper, which I think is great. I like the lines. I like the numbers. Again, that just gives it a little bit extra dimension. I think we're just going to glue that right on the side there. Let me get my glue book here. Yeah, I want it like that. So I'm going to go like that. Okay. Let's see. Laura started a how-to this morning with the part 1. She has a list of what to add. Oh, very cool. Okay. I'm going to watch that. Have that play when I move on to my next project. I'm going to glue that. I want as much of that top. I like that little kind of box there at the top. So I want to capture that. Burnish that down. Ooh, what is she making her backgrounds out of, Kathy? Is it like paint or? I'm definitely going to watch, but I'm curious. All right, and then I'm just going to trim with scissors. That's just easiest to do. I guess I could have rounded my corners. Actually, I'm going to come in and do that. Kind of round that. Same thing with this. I probably could have cut that afterward, but it all works. Could kind of catch that edge there. Yeah, I should have rounded after, but kind of make it work. There we go. Okay. So there's our side tuck, topped with our ledger. And what I'm covering the inside with. So I've been collecting antique ephemera for many, many, many years. And so as best I can, I've been trying to dig into my stash of things. And I'm finding that if I just do lay it on my copier and just do a regular old copy of it, it really turns out great. Where is the original? I have that. What did I do with that? Let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it out. I don't know what I did with that. That's weird. I had it in the plastic container and everything. Did it fall on the floor? Oh, it did. Let me get it. It fell on the floor. So we did get to do a little bit of antiquing. We took a day trip to Lake Tahoe, and we stopped in one of my favorite antique stores, which is in Gardnerville. I wish I had the name of the antique store, and I think it's in Nevada. I think it's on the Nevada side, and we were camping on the California side, and I picked this up. In fact, I think she only had it marked at $1 because she had a bunch. There was a booth that had such great ephemera, and I picked up probably 5 or 6 things from that particular booth. And so she had a bunch of these. I guess it's kind of like a bill of sale. What does it say here? Walter Tips Hardware and Agricultural Implements. Yeah, so this is a receipt of goods, and a lot of them were marked $2, and she had this one marked at $1, probably because of the watermark, but I like that. That's actually what I liked about this one the most. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, that's what we try to recreate that, right? Look how the ink sort of ran there. So this was something that I picked up a few weeks ago, and again, I just laid it right on my the glass of the copier, and I copied it, and it's pretty close. The lighting isn't very good in here today because I have the house so closed up, but you can see it's a pretty good. So we are going to rip this down as well. And let me mark this. And this one I'm actually going to leave more of a margin of the file folder here on the edge because I find sometimes when I'm gluing layers of paper, so say I have cardstock here, the file folder, and then we're going to glue on this piece of copy paper. I'm going to use art glitter glue to glue this side tuck down, but sometimes I find that it pulls away. So I'm going to leave even like a little bit more of a border so that I'm gluing file folder to file folder, if that makes sense. And sometimes it sticks, sometimes it's okay, sometimes I don't have a problem. It just sort of depends. But just so we don't have any lifting, I'll put a little bit of extra there. Oh, I probably should. I should measure this too, I think, this side. So I get a little bit straighter. And I've sort of already kind of pre-ripped ripped this bill of sale down. Okay, there we go. And we don't need to go all the way in. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and go as far as what will show through the little semicircle here. So I'll probably go maybe right to this line. And then we can save that for something else. There we go. We'll put that off to the side. Oh, all different kinds of mediums. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, how fun. How fun. I really like, been really enjoying experimenting with new things, kind of getting myself out of my comfort zone. Okay, so I rounded. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Why did I just do that? I rounded those, but I didn't need to do that. Don't need to do that step. Okay, we're a good fit there. So we're going to ink that up, and we're going to ink up our tuck spot here. I guess I don't need to do that side, but we'll do this side. And the cool thing about, you know, picking up this antique ephemera as you find it at flea markets and antique stores, nobody else will have it. Only you. It's an original. And I love that. I think that makes your thing special. Plus, you know, unique. And it's a way to use up those, you know, utilize those things that we love collecting, but we don't have to use the original. And we can copy it over and over and over again. I like that thought of it. And of course, some people do use originals. I do use original things. Definitely do, but for something like this, I'll never come across it again. So I like the idea of photocopying it. And I like to use as much vintage as I can, original vintage, and then this way too, I can layer in reproductions of it, which I think is cool. Okay, so I'm going to glue down this. We are moving along. Oh, I don't think I've seen Big Bro Auctions. Does he have YouTube sales? Kathy, put the link in if you want to find that link. It doesn't sound familiar. I don't know why. It should. Okay, so now we're going to glue down the tuck spot, and I'm going to use art glitter just because I want it to hold. Definitely art glitter, or what's the other one? Barely. Is it Barely? Barely Art? Art Bear? I don't know what the one is with the bear. But that would be my suggestion. Holds really well versus the glue stick. I think that would have a tendency to pull after a while. There we go. And we're going to really press that down. Let's see, Sundays and Tuesdays at 7. Oh, okay. That is one of my weaknesses, is, if any of you have been around here for a while, vintage books, vintage ephemera, of course, antique. In both of those categories, I just, I have a weakness. In fact, I picked up some, I probably will do a haul. I don't know if I'll post it Monday. I haven't recorded it yet, but I'll do a fun little haul of the things I picked up at that antique store. I think at least one, I think, will turn into a fun project. I just have to figure out how to do it. Oh, good. I'm going to look at my phone. Let me go. Oh, see, I'm not subscribed. So now I am. Let me hit the little bell. Okay, and I have the bell hit too, so it'll pop up. Thank you, Kathy. Put my phone over there. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I picked up, I have such a weakness that I don't go on Whatnot anymore. And I haven't frequented any flea markets lately, but yeah, oh my gosh. When I see ephemera and it's priced really, really well, and yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, so we have we have this outside, or this right flap. So now let's work on our pockets here in the middle. We're going to cut our pockets and then cover those. And where's that piece of file folder? Let's see here. And I don't want to use this part. I don't want to use this kind of folded. Let's see, are we going to get lucky? We might get lucky, and we're a little shy, but I think, okay, let me just do a little looking here. It's a little more narrow that way. Let's see what I have going here. Again, I'm going to get into trouble because I only have this small. That one was a little bit narrow on the one end. So let me see if I can cut this fairly quickly. Let's see if it'll fit into my here. Cut it down a little bit smaller. My guess is no. No, of course not. Okay. Let's do a little bit of a workaround here. Definitely why I need a bigger paper cutter. So I'm just going to take a straight edge here with my ruler and one of these little cutters here, and see if I can square this off fairly well so it will fit into my cutter. Did you, Kathy? Oh, what did you get? Oh my gosh. So cool. Now, will you photocopy, Kathy, or do you think you'll use the originals? I so get that like scarcity thing, like, oh, I'm never going to find this cool thing again. And I was actually going through, I need to go in and organize all my antique ephemera a bit better, but I was going through and looking for things to photocopy to cover those, you know, these pockets, these inside pockets here. And I was sort of rediscovering all the really cool things I had or have. Okay, so we're a little bit smaller. Let me see here. Does this fit in here now? Yep, we fit now. Okay. So let's go back here and measure and see what works a little bit better. It's a little wonky doing it this way because I'm still probably not super square, but it's kind of close enough. Let's see, lots of wrapping paper, ink pads, and I'm not sure, but whatever it was cool. Ooh, ink pads too. Oh, wow. So he has not just like antique ephemera and stuff. He has craft supplies. Okay, I'm going to check him out. Definitely. Oh, this is really not square. How am I going to do this? I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit better here. This is really bad. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm going to just cut off something that's way too wide. Sorry, you're probably all screaming like, that's such a weird way to do it. But let me get it a little bit wider and then see here. And then let me remeasure because it was really off. So let me do that. Oh, this is really bad. It's very wonky. Don't do as I do. Sometimes when I do things, I'm like, you're doing this like the absolutely strangest way and backwards way of doing things. Okay, that's a little bit squarer. Yeah, wrapping paper is, I have not a lot, but I have a little bit of wrapping paper, and I bought some really cool Christmas wrapping paper from Kelly Rashidi, Mary's sister, when they did that sort of Christmas sale together. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. So I need to come up with something. Okay, so I'm just going to use this as my template, just kind of get a rough estimate of what size I'm going to make these pockets. And when I was coming up with a prototype, I just kind of played with it and worked, just kind of backed into it and just kept kind of working with what size seemed to work well. So here's our bottom one. And I think just because I can see, and then I can give, for anybody that wants measurements, I'll just kind of give you a rough measurement, but I can see what's poking out there at the back. So that's sort of how I'm getting my measurement here. In fact, let me turn this over. Kind of eyeball it. I didn't write down the measurements of these. I should have. Okay, and this will kind of work for our middle, and if we're lucky, we'll have enough for the top. Okay, so that's the middle. In fact, I'm going to write myself a note. So that's middle, bottom, because I'm likely to get mixed up here, talking and crafting at the same time. And I think this is probably good enough. Yeah, this is top. That'll work. That'll work well enough. Okay. Probably a bit more overlapping than we need, but it'll work. Okay. All right. And then these are the pieces that I pulled out to cover the pocket. So this is just a piece of graph paper. I don't know if it's old. It might have been maybe something my husband had or my mom. I'm not sure where that came from. This is another photocopy of a piece of antique ephemera that I had in my collection. This is just a fun book page, and it's from like a loan like amateur, I never can say that word, amortization. I said it. And I like the graphics on it. I thought that was kind of fun. And then this is a piece of probably antique book page from a Italian like grammar book. So like English, Italian kind of thing, which I love. I love using that. So okay, so let's build our center one. So the bottom one, we're going to cover it with our amortization. Can't say that. Let's rip this down a little bit. Ooh, it's really slippery. You'll come this way. And I like I like seeing the numbers more than I do the white part. That's pretty good. And even though it's probably not super vintage, yeah, you can't tell once you ink it up. Okay, let's get rid of that part. And these little scrappies are sometimes fun to keep, although I do question how small is too small, but little pieces like this are great for collaging. If you're doing little small collages. Yeah, wrapping paper, Kathy, it just, the graphics are so wonderful on wrapping paper. It's like instant wonderfulness. Okay, so again, we're just kind of repeating the process. Mark that with pencil, rip that down. I can see my pencil marks here. There we go. So there's the bottom. It's pretty good. We'll do a little assembly line. Okay, so the next one, the middle one, I think let's cover it with, this was a photocopy I had too, and I only had like one photocopy, or I didn't pull it out to copy it again. So I think we'll just use this little bit of a check here. We'll just mark that. Okay, that's pretty good. There's our middle. And then let's see, I use graph paper for the top. Hopefully this is, I think, yeah, that'll work. I kind of ripped this down already when I was prepping, so that fits pretty good. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, and then we're going to cover this little back section. This is not a pocket, but we're going to use that Italian paper here, the little bit that peeks out from the top of that top pocket. I like that edge, but we don't have a lot of text there, so. See how soft this paper is? I'll save that because that yummy edge there. I'll eventually use that. And let's see here. Let's take off a little bit more of that top. Oh, it's so buttery and soft. I love this paper. And it's almost perfect. kind of goes right on the edge there. Save that. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's the cutest paper, Terry. So I need to figure out, I don't know, probably do tags or something like that, but it's so, oh my gosh, so cute. It has like big Santa faces, I think, is one. Okay, I'm going to kind of put this down here just so I can kind of figure out how much, just going to dry fit it a little bit. So I'll probably just go down that far because we don't need all of that. Kind of a waste. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, that fits well. And what do you guys think about, do you think it's okay to photocopy old wrapping paper, or do you think that falls into the same thing as illustrations and books? It might fall into that same category where you can't photocopy. What do you guys think about that? I get that way with things like that, right? Because it's so scarce. It's like stuff you'll never see again or find again. And it's like from the 50s, I think, ish. Oh, that would be awesome, Kathy. In fact, I have, I was looking, I have like one of my mom's antique dressers out in the garage, and I was looking for Scotch tape because I keep some of my like office supplies out there in one of the drawers, and I came across some other wrapping paper that was kind of out of sight, out of mind. So I have some papers I can share. We all had talked about doing that too, right? Leanne, we were talking about napkins and wrapping paper. We kind of just let that fall to the wayside a little bit. I think I'll do it that way. We probably need to pick that conversation back up again. And what do you do, Kathy? Do you just use little pieces and parts of your paper? Like, would you cover a whole page in it? Do you collage with it? Because I haven't worked with it yet. I'm not sure. I was thinking I would just take, like, if it had a major element. I'm going to cut that, even though I have those. It's a little bit too tall. I was thinking I would, like with the Santas, I would isolate like the Santa face and maybe do like a little collage or something with it. I don't know. Oops. We're sticking to the glue book. Oh, wrong side. Probably shouldn't have done that. I'm going to have glue on the back. That was probably a big mistake. Let me see. That was probably a big no-no. Probably should have just left it on the other side. Okay, there's her bottom pocket. Get rid of that page there. We're getting a little sticky. Okay, now let's do our middle. Same thing. I'm gonna ink that up. In fact, let's ink all of it while we're at it. Middle, top. These don't look very square, but hopefully. Top, here's our top paper. And once I glued everything down, I'll go back in and probably do a little bit more inking. And let's do this one. Let's see, Kathy said, I sent a box of different paper stuff to Daniel, tacky as me, and ended up weighing almost, oh my gosh, 4 pounds. Oh my gosh. It's fun though, right? When you start pulling stuff to send off. I get that way, like I do like little paper packs and stuff. I'm like, oh, I got to have this, I have that. Like it, I don't know. It snowballs super, it can snowball really fast. Okay, that's good. Let me clear some of my stuff out of the way here. I have so much stuff that I don't need. Put that there. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's glue this on. Wow, 4 pounds. Did he get it already, Kathy? Did he do an open, like a unboxing? Oh my gosh. What a treat. And what has he been doing, Kathy? Is he doing like junk journal kind of stuff? What kind of, I don't know that if I've watched any of his crafting content. What kind of, I'm guessing it's probably junk journaling, right? With what you sent him. Okay, we got that, we have that. Okay, let's glue this one down. I started watching Laura's video, the link she put in the group, or maybe Angela put it in, of her glue book. I started watching it right before we came on, so I need to go back and finish that up. I feel so behind on enjoying everybody. Okay, so there's our, let's see if we can do multiple. Probably not. It's probably not smart to do this. Do we think we can paper punch them all together? Probably not. And I'm just going to eyeball it, hopefully, just so we know they'll be kind of lined up that way. Let's see. I have quite a bit in here. Ugh. No, that's not going to work. Maybe 2 would work though. Yeah, 2 worked okay. Ooh, I hope I did that the right way. I did. There we go. And we'll use that as a guide. It'll kind of catch on there, hopefully. Can kind of feel the ridge of it. Maybe. Don't do as I do. Okay, I think it worked out okay. I think it worked out okay though. Okay, let's ink the let's ink that little half round there.
Let's see, Daniel just went back to work at Walmart, so he hasn't done much on his shows, working slowly on junk journals. Oh, that's fun. I'll have to look and see if I can catch up on some of what he's done. Okay, let me see here. So I think what I'll do is I might kind of mark this. So I'm just going to kind of judge, just do a visual judge on the height. And then I'll put a little pencil mark that'll kind of help us. Probably jump that one down a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do that. That one will be about right there. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of glue right here just on those edges. Okay. Let me think this through. Yeah, because the bottom then will get glued to the bottom of the folio. And I'm just going to go like right up to that pencil line. So it kind of gets covered up. There we go. Burnish that down. And I'm kind of working through this a little fast, but if you're, doing this in the replay or doing this at home, you can give it a little bit of extra dry time. I think we'll be okay. Okay, so let's see here. And then where we want to put this. And we're just eyeballing it. This top one will be a little bit taller. Yeah. Oh, too much coffee today. To drink more water. No, this one needs to be, otherwise we're gonna. Okay, I think that's pretty good. In fact, I think I'm actually going to raise that a little bit more. Just so we don't see as much of that line right there. Okay. And then this one, because it's the middle pocket, we are going to, just so when you stick things down, if it's something shorter, I mean, I guess technically you don't need to glue this bottom, but sometimes when I've constructed things, it's like it'll go all the way down, if that sort of makes sense, and things can get sort of lost. Okay, so we're going to glue the sides and the bottom of this one. Okay, line that up and then turn it over. Try to burnish that as best we can. Get a little bit of seepage there, but pretty good. All right, nice. Okay, we're good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this whole panel. This now, I'm just thinking to myself, this top one is actually going to end up being one of those super long ones. Let's see. Do I want to do this? Yeah, actually what we'll do on this top one is we'll run a bead of glue here too, just so it doesn't end up being, so let's see, this one's fine, that's short. This one is short. Let me double check myself. So that one will be there. This one ended up being kind of a short one, but I think what we'll do is we'll put a line of glue here just so this one doesn't end up being, right, one of those things where it gets completely lost. I think we're doing pretty good on time. I felt like I bit off kind of a big project for today, but I thought this was so cute. And I really wanted to do something with those feather stickers. And I love this printable when I found it. But I think we'll make it. We just have a couple more. We're going to do some collaging, but that should go pretty quick. We go. We're pretty good. We lined up pretty good. Oh, that looks so nice. Put a little bit of glue here, but I think we're good. Look what I did, guys. Oh, Lord. Look what I did. Did you guys catch me? I did this upside down. I did it upside down. It's supposed to be this way. Oh, goodness. See, I'm talking. Okay, we're okay. I caught it. I caught it in time. We have paper here. Oh, my goodness. I did that yesterday. I was working on a journal for something, and I had the cover backwards. We're okay. Okay, we're going to cover this with paper, so we just need another piece of that. It says real life here, real life crafting. We have this paper. So let's take a little bit of this. Okay, that was really close. My heart's beating, but it's okay. I'm surprised that saved because it usually dries so fast. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay, let's ink that up. Wow, I don't even know how I caught that. I think I was just like, wow, why are the feathers over on the right side? Okay, that was a quick save. You should learn to check twice, check 3 times. Good, we covered that up. And I don't want to try to get that up. We just had a little bit of spot right here where it's kind of white, but that covered up. Okay. There we go. All right. We're good, right? That's our inside. Yeah, we are good. Okay, let's try that again. Wow, I'm surprised because this art glitter usually dries so fast. Typically don't have that move time at all. Once it's down, it's down. Maybe because it's hot today? I don't know. I don't know how we got so lucky. Okay, and then we said we were going to put across here so we don't end up with a super deep pocket, right? Pretty sure that's what we said we were doing. All right, let's try that again. Yep, we are. Hopefully that won't affect the sticking down at the bottom. Hopefully we're going to be okay. And hopefully it sticks. Wow, and I like was pushing that a lot down. All right. We are good. Other than glue all over my fingers, we are good. All right, so cute. So there's our, we've covered our back. We've covered the inside. We've made our pockets. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to give it a little bit more inking just to kind of blend everything in a little bit more where we've glued our edges. Our gusset, new word of the day, thanks to Terry. Let's give that gusset a little bit more love. Yeah, I bet it was. I bet you're right, Kathy. It was that thickness. Yeah, because boy, when it's just you know, thin piece of paper, it is down. Let's give our outside gusset a little bit more love. We are looking good. Okay. Put the cover on there. Okay, let's see. Let's work on this little inside cluster. So I used one of those feather stamps that I have the link below. I used a Tim Holtz die cut. So I'm using die cuts. One is this little, and I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. I did find the link to Amazon, so I put that down below. And these are the ephemera pack snippets. So they're like the little tinies, which are fun. And then I also have some of those larger, and I think it's from the Field Notes snippet set, which has, like, you know, the little tags and a lot of this kind of butterfly bird kind of bug stuff. But these are part of that Field Notes pack that has the larger snippets. And I'm trying not to hoard my Tim Holtz stuff. I'm trying to use it. Okay, I'm gonna put that there just so we have a little something to look at. And let's see, is this the one? That might even be the same. Yeah, that might even be the same sticker there. Let's use that one. I lost all my little things here. Oh, let's glue this on. This is the the little tag or the little label here. This is from the field note set. So let's glue that one on because I just found that one. And what I'm going to do is these die cuts, these aren't too bad. Some of his die cuts are super, super thick, which I often don't love. So sometimes I'll come in and peel off the back, like those glossy ones, the flowers that were just in that container. I find that I have to peel off the back. I don't know. I just don't like how thick they are and dimensional. But I'm just going to come in here and rough up the edges a little bit just to kind of age it. Can't really see it too much. But once we put ink on that, I don't know, it just gives it, you know, it looks really new right now. And I think I'm even going to go in and fold, kind of fold an edge right here. You can rip it. You know, there's ways to kind of make these look a little older. You can roll up the edges here. The rest of our folio has that real antique aged look, so we want to achieve that sort of with this label too. So you can see that kind of gives it a little bit more of a time-worn look. So let's glue that down. Hi, Kathy. You can't hear me saying hello. Oh, I hope you're having a good checkup. I'm glad you're watching. Oh, did I miss? Let's see. Make sure I did it. Oh, Angela came in. Oh my gosh, Angela, you came in so long ago and I didn't see you. Oh, I missed all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Oh, I missed Kathy saying, ooh, let me glue this down. Look at, I think when I had the glue fiasco. Daniel and Dolores are doing Let's Talk About It on the 7th. Nice. Thank you for putting that link in. Super. Here, let me click on that too. I got a little notify me going on there. Okay. And then let me come back in here. Oh, won't let me click back on. Let me go back to live. Sometimes I notice it does that. Let me click out of YouTube and then come back in. And then I'll catch up. I miss Angela coming in. Hi, Angela, if you're still here. Let me see. Let me come back in. I completely closed it out. Let me go back to my channel. Okay, now I'm back in. All right, I missed Angela. Let's see. I have the link. Oh, Bree got her hat. Did she open it? Oh my gosh, she is gonna love it. Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna check out Anitra's channel too. I feel like I missed so much when we were gone and camping and I just got super behind. Yeah, a stamp would work great too. Yeah, if you don't have the Tim Holtz die cuts, stamps are great. You know how I love my blue chip stamps, vintage stamps, printables. Pinterest is a wealth of free printables. So if you're just starting out with junk journaling and you're trying to do it on a lesser budget, you can find probably label, like free printables of labels on there. So definitely utilize Pinterest as much as you can. Also, another thing, of course, now I'm swirling. Let's see if I can find it. One of the first stamp sets that I invested in were these label, these silicone rubber stamps. And these are great too, because you can stamp on a book page. You can, get other stamps that have text and things on them. So these are really great too. You can make your own stamps, and you can use them over and over and over again. So that's an economical thing. Let's see. Yes, so good you're getting your eyes checked, Kathy. Kathy says, my husband had a tear in his retina. Oh no, having laser repair. I had to move my cell up to 7 p.m. Oh no. Oh, I hope he's going to be okay, Kathy. I know you can't hear me. Oh, that's tough. Is it 7 p.m. Eastern? I need to put the notification on for that too. Maybe Kathy Wiseman will find it. Oh, I bet she loved it, Kathy. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So anybody that's listening to the replay or doesn't know, Kathy Wiseman, she makes the most wonderful headbands. And one of our YouTube friends had requested a, what's that style? Of course, now it's leaving me. Oh, what is it, Kathy? It'll come to me probably as soon as you type it in. And it was so adorable. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I bet she adores it. Steampunk. It was kind of like a steampunk style. So cute. Had like a little mini hat, like a little mini steampunky top hat thing on it. Oh my gosh. So good. I feel like I've lost little things in the shuffle. I had labels and everything out. Let me find them here. Let me put my little pin in my glue. Let me clear off a little bit here. It was so good. I pulled out all the labels. So here's one thing we're using. That we're not using. Maybe they fell on the floor too. Everything always falls on the floor. Here's one of the labels we're using. I thought I had some little turquoisey ones pulled out. Let me make sure they didn't get over. I have this scrap pile I've been throwing over here on the side. Let me look on the floor, because that's always I don't see anything. Okay, let me pull out another one. Here's the top of this. Here we go. Ooh! Of course, now I have lots on the floor because they all fell down. Let's pull one out here. I love these. Of course, then I start using all the ones I love. I love these little turquoisey ones. So let's pull one of those out. I think that size is good. This tuck ended up being a little bit more narrow than my prototype here. So let's use that one. And let's see what else we want to add to our little collage here. Okay, so we have a label. Maybe let's use, and then this is just a photocopy of one of my pieces of ephemera. So let's use that. So we're just going to do a little quick layer. And let's get a little piece of book page. Let's see what we have over here. Let's maybe use some of this this Italian book here. Let's rip it a little bit more. Hi, Carrie. How are you? How are you, friend? I feel like I've missed you. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Wait, let me blow it up. It is, Kathy. Let me see. How do I see it bigger? I can't see the emojis big. Sorry, that's my forehead there. I can make it out. You shared pictures with us. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Oh, I hope you're good, Carrie. I hope you've been up to some fun stuff. This is my first time back. I've been away for 3 weeks. I was on vacation, camping trip with my husband and our son. So I feel a little like I'm out of my element because I've been away for so long, but it feels so good to be back. And hopefully I will start catching up with all the wonderful things everybody's been doing. I'm going to add a little bit. I don't think that's the right top. I'm going to add a little bit of this evergreen bough. Let's give it a little bit of green. I don't think that's the, this green is so powerful. It gets everywhere. I'm going to change out my top. I'm going to add a little bit of green because why not? And actually, I think green would be really beautiful if you added some. That's kind of a combination I've been loving, is to use walnut or vintage photo and then mix it with a green. Usually evergreen bough is my go-to. It gives it that kind of coppery, you know, when copper turns, it gets that yummy patina. It really gives it that color. And that's because we have a little bit of, I'm just kind of working off a little bit of this turquoise from this die cut. So we're going to take our scissors and rough that up a little bit too. Give that a little bit of age before we ink it up. That's looking pretty good. And what I'm going to do with these stickers, I like using stickers. I've been using them more and more, but sometimes what I don't like is this border. So see how this one has quite a wide border. I mean, it is plastic. You can't get away from that kind of plasticky look. But what I like to do is come in and cut a little bit closer to the image. In fact, let me pull out some. So like another example, yesterday I was crafting with these bird stickers. And so same thing on these. When I'm using these stickers, I like to come in and get, fussy cut and get rid of a little bit more of that white. I don't know, it just kind of blends in a little bit better when you're collaging with stickers. And I don't know, it, you know what I mean? It takes away kind of that new look. But of course, if you are like, say, art journaling and you're doing something where you have, bright punches of color and newer materials, I probably wouldn't do it in that instance. But when I'm trying to add something like a washi sticker or a sticker that's really has a lot of, quite a plastic look to it, I find it helps. Sort of, it blends it in a little bit more. That's kind of my little hack. Of course, I can't see. I almost feel like I need stronger. I wear reading glasses because I'm blind as a bat up close. And I just get really cheapy Amazon ones because I have a habit of losing them. I almost feel like I need a little bit stronger. Okay. All right. And you can't really, it's hard to tell, but I just came in there a little bit closer. I do sometimes carry, but sometimes I find that the ink doesn't stick well. You know, when it's like a slick surface, I don't know. I think over time it does, but I feel like it has a tendency to come off. In fact, we can kind of try. Yeah, like it's not really. Yeah, I bet over time we'll ink this and we'll see what it does. It'll probably set in sort of over time, but I feel with the plastic it doesn't stick very well as it does to like paper, but we'll try it. We'll see. I'm even going to put a little bit on the top. Okay. All right. How do I want to glue that down? Oh, let me ink this up a little bit. I'm going to rip that a little bit more. It looks a little bit too newish. Okay, let's glue that down. I think that sometimes that's my little, it's not a pet peeve, that's not the right thing to say about stickers, but sometimes why I don't love them as much. But I recently, I was trying to use up the ones I had, and I just kind of discovered that if I cut a little bit closer, it just gives it a much better look. Okay, there's sort of our first layer. Let's put this one, and I'm kind of offsetting them, right? I'm not lining them up. I don't want to line them up that way. I'm trying to offset it a little bit. Hard time picking that up. Okay, so we're going to glue that on, make that one a little bit higher, and let me do a little bit kind of a rough layout here. It's pretty good. Okay, that one's going to go down there, and then we'll put our sticker over the top. Yeah, I'll kind of see. Let's see if it's kind of coming off. It's kind of in between sticking and coming off. My fingers are so dirty, I won't be able to show you. But that would be a good thing to test if you applied it to something so slick like this acetate. Would it stay on over time if you just let it sit? Okay, let's see. We want to kind of put that down. There we go. In fact, I'll go in and kind of ink that up a little bit. Actually, it takes away a little bit of the gloss by doing that, which I actually like better. That's the one I'm not a glossy person. I'm actually kind of forcing myself to play with magazine images and pages a little bit more, because again, those have the gloss, but it actually did take away the gloss quite a bit. So that's something fun we just learned. As opposed to like that one I didn't. I don't know that you can really see it. But it has more, I can see it, but it has more shine to it, has more gloss. Okay, so there's our one collage. We put our little label there. And then I did a collage on the back. So let's put that one together real quick. Oh, and we need to put our grommet in, so I don't want to forget to do that. Okay, let's see, our little back collage. I'm not necessarily using the same things, but I just pulled out things that were similar to what I did on the prototype here. Oh, and the other thing I did here, so this was just a photocopy and I thought it needed a little bit more interest. So I actually came in and stamped with my Tim Holtz, what is this one called? Field notes. So I came in and grabbed a few of my Tim Holtz field note stamps and I just added a little bit of dementia. But again, so cheap. This was just a piece of antique ephemera that I had photocopied and just zhuzhed it up a little bit. And nobody will have this. I mean, obviously people will have the field note stamps. They can recreate that look. But again, completely original to you, one of a kind. I like that. Makes it special. Okay, so we've inked that up. What else do we want to put in here? We have this die cut. Let's come in again and take our scissors and let's age that up a little bit. I'm even going to rip the corner there. These just look way too new. You can even do that, kind of crumple them up a little bit. That helps. Okay, take our ink. So like there's kind of the before. So we've kind of ripped it. We've balled it up or whatever. That's not the right word. That's not the right word. Scrunched it up. And then we get these little bends in it. And if you come in and you ink those, so cool. What did we ever do before distress inks? How did we all manage? See how cool that is. So it's new, but it now has much more of a vintage look to it. Okay, so we have a label, and then I pulled out a vintage stamp in my stash. This one is so cool. National Capital I can't say that word either. Sequencentennial. I can't say that word either. I'm having problems with my big words today. I can't, and it won't focus. Of course it won't focus. Sequencentennial. That's not right either. Okay. We're going to add some ink to that. Let's see. Kathy said, "Oh, hi, Amy. How are you?" Yeah, this is quite a big project today. I'm almost winding it up. But usually I'll do tags or something that fits into the space of time. So I knew I kind of really brought quite an involved, larger project on today, but I really loved it. I loved it after I made it. I hope you're feeling good today, Amy. Yeah, I hope your back's good. Hope you're feeling better today. Kathy said we use paint or magic marker. Yeah, and markers really work great. Markers are great. I've been playing with markers a lot more lately. In fact, I did something, I don't want to tell you because I think I'm going to do a video on it. I did something so cool the other day. I had remembered, I don't know, reading about it or something in passing, and I wanted, not for this project, but I was flipping through some of my vintage books, and I was like, oh, I want to make that thing and recreate that thing. And so I remembered reading or hearing or something about a hack, and I tried the hack and it's so cool. So I'm hoping maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I want to try to do a video on that because it's so cool and cheaper and it was fun. And I had all the things on hand. I just used what I had on hand and add a little bit of green to that. And it was so cool. So I need to get back using what I have. Finding ways to, right, recreate something, get the look. Oh, okay, I just dropped everything on the floor. There we go. I think I dropped the sticker on the floor too. Okay, so let's put this one here. I'm just eyeballing it. I dropped the feather sticker, so I need to go be on the hunt for that. I think it's not. Oh no, maybe it's over here to my right. I think I spied it. Okay, so we're going to glue down our label. Get rid of these things here. Here it is. It's up here. Let's see. Do we like that one? I might dig in and find a bigger one. Okay, let's glue our stamp up here. And I'm just kind of going off of my prototype. I think I want a bigger feather though. Where are my feathers? I might have put them away. Here we go. I don't know, that one looks a little bit too diminutive. Let's see if we can find one that's a little bit bigger. That one's even better. Just something that doesn't get lost. That one's not bad. That one's not bad. I guess this is the one I used on the other. I kind of like that one. Let me see what the pinky ones look like. Or this kind of orangey. Since we didn't use that. No, I don't like that. Okay, let's use that one. Put these back. I need to make some of my little sticker holders. I have an older video up on that. On how to make cute little holders for your stickers. And I've added some more stickers since I made that video. So I need to make a couple more. I guess I could roll the camera and do another video. These are this is what I'm talking about. So you can take envelopes, just these little window envelopes like this, and do little collages on the back. And I have a little antique like wooden crate that's behind me at the dining table here, and it's great. I can quickly grab because I can see through the envelope, and it's so cute, and it's a great way to you know, quickly grab the sticker because I can see right through the window there. Oh yeah, I could have put, definitely could have put two. Aren't these beautiful, Amy? Oh my gosh, I love these feathers. I love any kind of nature inspired kind of thing, but I love feathers. Are special to me. you know, a lot of you know my mom passed away. Actually, I guess has it been 4 years now? 3 years, 4 years. And feathers are very special to me because my mom actually sends us feathers. My mom, that's what she sends us is feathers. And she has sent them in the most amazing ways that there's no way we can miss them. She sends them in ways that are way too crazy and obvious, and it's wonderful. I've sort of stopped collecting them. I have a huge vase that we started, and amazing, crazy, unusual big feathers, like such craziness. For a long time, I collected them, and I have a big vase of them. And I've kind of stopped. I always say hello to her. Yeah, like just in our face way. Sometimes like it's just so like, it's like, hi mom. You know, of course, every time I see one, whoops, I don't want to use green. I always say hi mama. But yeah, that's what she picked. I told her to pick something special. Her mom, my Nana, she's monarch butterflies. So I told my mom when she was in hospice, I said, Mom, what are you going to pick? You have to pick something really special and be with us and let us know that you're with us. And she picked feathers. And it's really wonderful. Okay, try not to cry. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our grommet. Oh, it's so hard. Isn't it hard, Kathy? Yeah, 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. Is she? Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. That's such a beautiful sign, dove. Oh my gosh. I love doves. We have, although they're always in pairs. But we have this like vintage dove statue. I think I might have put it on my Instagram. I don't know. My husband and I found it at like a local flea market, and it's kind of all beat up, but it's the coolest. It's a pottery white dove. And so I had him put it at the top of our fence. And so sometimes we only see one dove. And I said one day, maybe the dove thinks that's like an actual dove. Because usually we see them in pairs, but lately I've just been seeing one at a time. So it's kind of funny. Maybe it thinks it's like its boyfriend or girlfriend or something. Oh, Amy, isn't it wonderful? It just, oh, I don't want to cry. It's right. They send us these signs when we need it the most. Yeah, I feel very connected to my mom and my Nana. I feel very so connected to them. Yeah. You did? My daughter loves crows. Taylor loves ravens and crows. We have like super huge ones. They look like chickens. They're so big in our neighborhood. It's somebody. You just have to figure out who it is. It makes us feel, and she sends them to my husband. My kids have found them. I've like asked her to send us signs, and there's a feather in like the most unusual, profound way. So crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want you all to think, yeah, I'm kind of a weirdo, but this makes me feel so good. Okay, so here, let's figure out where we're going to put our grommet. I'm going to kind of eyeball it. I think that's probably pretty good. I'm just going to make a little pencil mark here. I guess I could be really, probably right here. That's probably about where it is. And I'm going to attempt to use my crocodile, even though I'm not very efficient at it. Now, because I have grommets, I've had them for a long time. I had them for some of the projects that I was making and selling. So I happen to have them. So that's why I'm using them. But if you don't have grommets, the next best thing, which would look really adorable too, is to just use a regular paper punch and punch a hole. And I think it would look really cool. Do I have any on here? You know, to use paper protectors, and you can color them with ink, whatever color. I mean, you could come in, you know, we have a little bit of pink in the feathers, so you could make them green or pink, or you could, I like to make them too and use a bit of book page. So you could add a ton of interest with just a regular hole punch and a ready-made hole protector that you ink up, or book pages are great, or scrapbook paper is great, or magazine paper is great to make really fun hole protectors with. But I happen to have the grommet, so we're going to use that. And let's see. I need to just sit down and do all kinds of stuff and get more familiar with it. But okay, so I made a little circle, and I'm going to come in and just punch a hole with this smaller outside part of it. And I don't know all the technical things. And I found, because the grommets I have are a bit larger than what works, I guess for this crocodile, I find it works better if I make the hole a little bit larger. And let's see if we're going to be successful. And when I did this one, I didn't put, so I have the, let's see, I have the grommets, you know, this kind of like front part, which again, I don't know what the technical word. So I have that larger part, and then I have these little, like kind of a back plate to it. And I didn't put one of those on this one originally, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to attempt to anyway. See if I can. Okay, so we've put that piece there. And again, I'm not much of an expert. I really need to play around with this. And hopefully I'm going to do it right. I bet I'm going to do it. Let me see. Let me think here. I might have it backwards. You're all probably, those that know how to use it, are probably screaming, no, you're doing it wrong. So I think the long part goes in the top. I'm going to do it that way and see what happens. I might be doing it wrong. Oh, I think the back part came off. I think that's the right way to do it. I know, I actually, my brain doesn't hold things for a long time. I actually watched a YouTube video on it, but that was last week, and now I've forgotten. But I think it does. Oh, I heard it click. Oh, it worked. It worked. So I think I had to press a little bit harder, and then I heard a little click. So I think, so this is the back part. So you see the little plate there and the front. So that was it. And I'm glad I put the little plate on. This one's fine. Can you kind of see that? It just looks a little bit rough, and really, I mean, if you pulled it, it probably would come out. So not the most ideal, but I think this is that looks much better with the plate. So yay. Oh, that's, you have vintage grommets, Kathy. I would be hoarding those. I would be hoarding them and not. And I don't know, does it say on here? I guess the size, is that the size of the grommet? 3/16 and 1/8, I guess. And I don't even know what these are. I bought these on Amazon many years ago. And I just used because I had from my metal stamping days, I had a really nice tiny little hammer and a little rubber, like a real thick rubber block, and that works just as well. These sets come, with the little setters and stuff, and really it works great. But my daughter, my sweet daughter, had I mentioned something about wanting it. I'm like, don't get this for me, I don't need it. And then she bought it for me. So I need to use it. I'm using what I have. So this one, I used a piece of, what is it, seam binding on this one. This one I grabbed out because we don't all have, vintage seam binding in our stash. So I just grabbed a piece of, this is from a skirt. I've talked about this skirt a lot. It was a big billowy kind of boho skirt that I had picked up at a estate sale or something. And it was just too big. When you have those things that just don't make you look the best. It was just like 2 layers and way too, made me look thick. Let's put it that way, thick. So I cut it up and I ripped it up and I've been using it. And it's great. It's the most wonderful fabric. In fact, let me get something. Let's use the back of this. I'm going to ink it up a little bit. Let's do that. And I should take a big chunk of it and I should tea dye it or coffee dye it because it would be great. But we're just going to ink it up a little bit because it's white. In fact, I have a big jar of coffee that I saved the other day. And I have another supply, like a Dollar Tree supply, and I want to play with coffee and there we go, tea staining some new papers. So we'll see how that. I was originally going to try coffee, and then of course Taylor, my daughter, reminded me, oh, you could do that with tea too. And I said, well, let's test both. We'll do some with tea and some with coffee and see how it works out. Yeah. But this just ages it up a little bit. I'll add a little bit of green in there. Because why not? I know you can take like ink, right? You can take spray ink and dye it, but that just gives it a little bit different look. And let's see, actually, let's stick some ephemera in here. So this is just ephemera. Let's stick some fun stuff in here. These are just things that I had stuck in the prototype. Let's do that. And then we will tie it up. Just little tags I made. Some new stuff. This is a really great antique, one of these cigarette cards, which I think is beautiful. What else do I have here? This is newer, like a reproduction kind of thing on an index card. This is antique and or vintage, so it's fun. You can switch things up. And this, I used one of these little mini Tim Holtz paper clips just because this was a little bit plain, but when I created it, I liked being able to see that book page here. I liked a little bit of peek of the book page, but when you open it, it's a little bit plain. Of course, this would be a good spot. You could do another collage. You could do a little side pocket. I mean, I could have like gone super crazy and decorating this folio up a bit more, but you can do something simple like that and with a little paper clip, and you don't see it from the outside, but it's a nice little surprise when you open. This would be a good spot to put either a bottom pocket or a little tack, the top or the bottom. So this is actually pretty plain, and you can, I won't put that one in there. It's a little bit too high. You could just go crazy with this design. Okay, so let's get our, hopefully this is long enough. It may not be long enough. I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter on one side. This might be a little bit epic fail, but we're gonna try for it. And I've just looped it through the grommet. You don't even need to do a grommet hole or a paper punch hole. You can just take ribbon, lace, whatever, and just wind it around, right? You don't even need the hole. But I thought that was a nice little extra. So I'm just taking the longer end. I made one end a little bit shorter, one end a little bit longer, and just do a really easy peasy bow. There's probably tons of different closure options you could do and try as well. Oh, I kind of like that. I like that better than the seam binding. I like the look of that. And let's cut this off. Let's rip that. I actually like the look a little bit better. This is the one where I use the seam binding, so you can kind of see what that look is. And then here it is with that kind of white rippy fabric. Let's see. Oh, Caroline, I missed you coming in. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, rickrack. Rickrack is another thing that I have a hard time resisting. I hoard rickrack. I have so much of it, and I thought, oh, I should probably sell. But that's another thing where I feel like I will, like the vintage rickrack, right? I feel like scarcity. I won't. And I've been known, like, once my husband and I went to an estate sale, and there was this, I don't know, it was in the lady's sewing room or her sewing stuff. I don't know. She had like a jar. It was literally this big ball of rickrack, and there was like threads, you know what I mean? It was all like, it was just this big crazy mass, and it was all tangled up in threads. It was like, I don't even know why it was like that or where she got it. And I told my husband, I'm like, okay, I need that. The people are like, oh my gosh, they probably thought I was super weird, but it was all that like super old rickrack, the little tiny stuff is so good. In fact, it's kind of still in a big ball. I just kind of pull at it as I need things. Oh my gosh, $1. Wow. And pom-pom trim. I have just a little bit of the vintage pom-pom. That's hard to find too. Oh my gosh. Good find, Amy. And that's it. So that is our finished folio. Yeah, I definitely do like, I might take this off. Maybe I'll play around a little bit with the coffee and the tea staining, since I'll be doing that with the papers, and see how that turns out. Hi, Christy. How are you? Oh, I hope you're good. I hope you're having a good day. So that's it. That's our finished folio. So cute with the little collage there at the back. That's it. That was our project. And it took me a whole 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get through that. Let me change the camera. You guys have stuck with me way too long. Way too long. That was a long one. This is good though to know. I probably won't bite off anything this kind of long. But I've never done a project this big before on our Thursdays together. So are you on a break from work? Oh, I hope you have a good break. Ooh, hibiscus tea. Okay. We might have some. I'll have to look. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I just, again, feathers, special, special, special. So, and I'm glad I finally got to use those stickers. So I'll have to come up with some other projects for those. So that is it. What do I have to say? I had made notes. How I was going to say this at the very beginning. So I actually reached 1,000 subscribers over the weekend, maybe. I don't know if it was Sunday or Monday. I've been like slowly inching my way there, and I finally got there. It was a little bit surreal, right? When you're like, oh, you know, and then you get there and it's kind of, I don't know. It was like, it's still like a little bit of a strange feeling, but, and I didn't want to say anything in case it went down, but when I logged on to YouTube this morning, they had like a big, I should have screen printed it. It was interesting. It wasn't on the YouTube, you know, the other app. It was just on the regular, wasn't on the back end one. It was like, and they were like, you reached 1,000 subscribers. So I'm like, okay, maybe they know something I know. It's not going to dip below, right? Because I always worry about that it'll dip below. I'll make an announcement and then people will be like, oh, she's not at 1,000. So anyway, but I should have said that at the beginning, but it's, yeah, definitely fun. Definitely worth celebrating. And I've actually been working on my giveaway. It feels like I've been working on it for a couple months. So part of the giveaway is going to be something handmade that I put a lot of love and time into it. I picked up some like duplicate stamps that I thought that I found out I already had. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of part, you know, made with love from me, the giveaway. Some things to craft with. I think I might do like a fun paper pack in there. I don't know. I have to start pulling things and putting it together. So definitely, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed and you have the notification bell, because I will be putting out a video. I have to figure out what kind of like rules or whatever of the giveaway. I have to figure out how to pick somebody for a giveaway. I haven't done that before. So but yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. And I will post to, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I'll post on Instagram. I'll definitely post in our little crafty group that we have on Instagram, because I want everybody to have a chance to participate and win. It's going to be fun. So that was my announcement for the beginning of the video. And then next week, I believe my daughter Taylor is joining me. We kept pushing it off. We've had a project that we wanted to do together, and we finally sat down yesterday afternoon, and she was mostly showing me, because I'm not as skilled as she is with a lot of kind of artsy things. So she was helping me. So she may probably take the lead a little bit more next week, but that's fun. And she'll show us how to make something that's really fun, and I think will be really useful to craft with. And so I'm thinking next week we'll be learning how to make this particular thing or things. And then my thoughts are I'll probably come up with a project that we can utilize them in for the following week. So I'm really excited. And hers are so good. And mine really aren't. But anyway. So yeah, I'll probably have her take the lead on it a little bit. But it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. I'm excited about having her join us. So that's it, everybody. Oh my gosh, 2 hours and 34 minutes. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching in the replay, thank you as well. Don't forget the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. If you want to leave a comment too, that really helps the algorithm. I hear people have been having problems with that. So that's it. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. See you next week. Bye.